The doorbell rang loudly. I wasn't even ready. Nowhere near it. Pulling the towel around me. I ran to the door and pulled it open a little. It was Zoe, my girlfriend. Not ready yet, she shouted. She was always early, and looking at the clock on the wall, I could see that she was half an hour early. She looked really good tonight. The silver Lurex mini dress and heels showed all of her curves in all the right places. Come on, let's get you ready, you have to do this or else. Can't I just come out another time with you? I whined. No way, you are not getting out of this one. You are going through with it. End of story. We had practiced this a few times during the week and I had a good idea what I was doing, but knew that I would need Zoe's help to pull it off. Or else. She sat on the edge of the bed watching as I started to get wet. I moisturized my legs with the shimmering liquid Zoe had picked. I did my arms too and Zoe finished off with my shoulders and back. I could see in the mirror that the lotion was making my skin sparkle. Just like Zoe's. Next came a ridiculously tight denim mini skirt, which I squeezed into. I pulled on the blue vest top over my head. The next part was the bit I had trouble with, makeup. Zoe stepped in and with a whirlwind of powders, glosses and brushes. I had transformed my face from geezer to teaser. She poked the dangling chandelier-like earrings through the holes in my lobes. I was instantly conscious of the extra weight in my ears. A matching bracelet and necklace was added. Finally, I put on a cute thin-strapped watch, unmistakably a girl's one. Zoe took the wig off the mannequin head as I had finished pulling on the hairnet. As the long wig was made of real hair, it sat right. No brushing required, just a quick ruffle with her hand. Next was the hardest part for me. The shoes. I steadied myself against Zoe as I stepped into the white stilettos. I had practiced walking in them all week. However, I wasn't too sure if I could stand around and dance a whole night in them. You look like one of the girls now, Zoe nodded in approval. Just the handbag to go and then we can go. My stomach was churning now. Zoe put makeup, brush into the bag. I locked the door behind me as we both stepped onto the street. I knew that I looked like a girl as soon as we got to the bus stop because two guys couldn't stop looking at me. Zoe even noticed the bus driver looking at me as we got on. We were meeting the other girls in town. I was more nervous than a small nun at a penguin shoot. It was our stop. I am sure that the guys from the bus stop must have got an eyeful as I stood to get off. They were smiling broadly when the bus moved off. Okay Zoe, you've made your point, can we just go home now? With a twinkle in her eye, she smiled and said, let's go and meet the girls. I slung my handbag over my shoulder, mirroring Zoe, and we made our way to the pub. We stepped inside and all of Zoe's mates were there. I was cringing with embarrassment. One of them pulled a chair to the side and asked me to sit. Zoe sat next to me. A round of drinks appeared at the table and Zoe stood up and made a toast. We all know why we are here tonight. My lousy boyfriend cheated on me and if he goes through with the plan, then he will be forgiven. If not, then it's over. So I toast our newest girlfriend, Shaz. Every girl at the table stood up with their drink and said, to Shaz. I now know what my girly name was for tonight. I also knew that I would have to go through with her plan or lose her forever. We drunk up and left for the next venue. My feet were killing me already and I hadn't even been out an hour. The other girls were being frosty to me and I can't say that I blamed them. I had cheated on one of their best friends and been caught out. Now I was paying the price. After a few more watering holes, we went to Barolo's. It was a club with a bit of a reputation. As soon as we entered, I could feel all the men in the place looking over at us. Zoe took me to the ladies' room and told me to do as she did. I touched up my mascara and lip gloss. Zoe ran her hands through my hair and smiled at me. Okay Shaz, now is the nitty-gritty bit. Make sure you do as I said or else, and stop pulling at your skirt. I half-heartedly smiled, but Zoe. She slapped me on the cheek and said, "No buts, let's get out there and do it. The sooner you do it, the sooner you will have learned your lesson and the sooner you can go home." I pushed through the door and Zoe tugged my skirt up an inch. No sooner had we made it to our table, than Carla, Zoe's best mate, dragged me to the dance floor to boogie to Kylie Minogue of all people. I hate Kylie's music. Just give me the girl. I could see guys lining the railings around the dance floor as I tried my best to look sexy. The music stopped and the DJ announced that Shaz was 21 tonight and looking for man. Before I got off the dance floor, I was besieged by blokes all looking for a dance. I was like Piggy in the middle as I danced around my white handbag in my microskirt. I was rescued by Zoe and Carla, who had somehow managed to fight off unwanted advances to get me off the dance floor. I took a drink of my breezer before Zoe said, "Well, do you see one you like?" I took another drink and replied, "No, not really." Zoe smiled and said, "Okay then, let's go back to the dance floor and I'll pick one for you." She grabbed my hand and I teetered in my heels back to the dance floor where two guys asked if we'd like to dance. Zoe immediately agreed. The night wore on and it came to last dance time. We went back to the ladies where Zoe told me to touch up my makeup. I did as I was told. "Right, here we are then, do your thing and we are home and dry, Shaz." I nodded. "Okay then, but do you have to watch?" She grinned. "Yes, that's the best part." I went out to the dance floor and met up with the two guys we had been dancing with. As the music became slower, I could feel my guy making his move. I knew I had to get this over with.